Hello and welcome to our third and final episode of Shifting Disability Narratives. My name is Edith Magak. In the first episode, we spoke to Riziki Source, a social enterprise that facilitates people with disabilities in Kenya to find employment. In the second episode, we spoke to Disability Trust that is based in Thogoto. Disability Trust advances the inclusion and rights of women and girls with disabilities in Kenya. And today we are at Ayira's NeuroSoul Cafe. Find out how this one-of-a-kind cafe in Nairobi is providing solutions for people with neurodisabilities.
My name is Diana and I'm the owner of Ayira's Cafe. I'm the founder. So Ayira's Cafe, we started it in December 2021. That's why it came live. We had our first servings on the 9th of December. So Ayira is my daughter. She's 5 years old and she was born with neurological disabilities. And she's definitely my inspiration towards starting this cafe. It's a safe space where the individuals I work with can be able to, get the ability to contribute. Also, it's a place where we try to educate people regarding the different neurological conditions. Other than that, it's also, as a special needs parent, it's always hard to get somewhere where you can go with your child and they are not stared at, they're not looked at differently because of the behaviors they have. So I've always also created this space for special needs parents and children to come in and just be comfortable and not feel judged. I had looked back and of course thought, as a parent, what can I be able to do to help solve this problem of people with neurological conditions being able to add value in the society. As children, when they're children, you see them around, we do a lot in getting them into therapy. We fight a lot to get them their space into schools. It's always a battle. If you talk to a special needs parent, it's never an easy journey. And after this numerous, fighting, struggling, trying to get them their space, their identity, being recognized, then once they become adults, it's like they disappear from the face of the earth. Not many people are willing, per se, to accommodate them. It is easier, I would say that it's easier to accommodate people with physical disabilities. You can have ramps, you can, have braille for the blind, but people with brain conditions have never been given the chance to be able to be given a platform to work and succeed and contribute. And inherently, every human being would want to, make a contribution and have some meaning into their lives. So I sat back and thought, as a parent, I am struggling with my daughter in her early years. I'm doing all this, using so much money. Then what happens when she becomes an adult? So I said, let me walk the talk. And starting a cafe to me was the easiest thing to do because as it is, we get to interact with many people. Many people don't understand the neurological disabilities, and one of the most known neurological disabilities is autism. Another one that we had on Monday was Down syndrome, World Down Syndrome Day. So Down syndrome is a neurological disability. There's ADHD, there's Tourette syndrome. There are very many neurological disabilities. So anything that affects the brain and makes a person function differently then is a neurological disability. But there's a wide array of them. It's a disability like any other disability. The fact that it affects the brain and people don't understand it and the stigma around it makes parents very shy to even let their children out. So, the society is what makes us hide our children. So when the society is open, will be open enough to bring our children outside and they'll be accommodated and it will be easier Once you understand, it's a two-way road. Once you open for us, because the typical people are the majority. Once they have an open mind and open for us the world, for our children the world, and people with neurological conditions the world, then they'll be able to understand these people, and more people will be able to see that they need to contribute in the world. They're being born every day, their numbers are growing, and we cannot ignore them. Like any individual, everyone has their different ability. So what strength can we be able to get out of these individuals and make them contribute? It's not fair that someone goes through school, their parents struggle so much because we do it 10,000 times. Maybe I'm even underrating what a typical child learns in a few seconds. It may take my child 10,000 attempts for her to learn, but she gets there and she'll be able to do at her own level. They will never reach the same level. So why not also try and give them opportunities elsewhere? Yeah. So that's what I'll tell the people around. And it's a spectrum. You cannot always say that I've seen one person with Down syndrome, I've seen one person with autism, I've seen one person with ADHD, and I know all of them. They are so different, they are so diverse, and it's a disability like any other thing. It's a condition. Yeah. So people should just open their mind towards it, especially in this part of the world where people associate it with witchcraft, associate it with some black things. It's just a medical thing. It happens to the brain, and that's it. And they are individuals as they are, and they should be accommodated and loved and accepted like any other human being. Let's not use that as a barrier to avoiding them and avoiding to give them opportunities. Yeah, so that's what I'll tell the world. Just open the world for them. Actually, the response has been very positive. Even it was quite overwhelming. I didn't know that it's something that people would see as a big thing. So when I was starting it, I knew it was going to be, just a small place, but the response was overwhelming. Individuals with neurological disabilities are happy that there's a safe space for them. Parents with children with neurological disabilities are also excited that they can have a safe space to bring their people. Just other people, supporters, organizations, groups find this very interesting because I believe human beings want to see other people accommodated. So when they see that there's a cafe that is doing this, something that's very different and very brave, as they say, because it's not every day that these people are given a chance. People find it very complex even to understand. Like you say, understanding it is rather complex. So the response has been very positive and quite overwhelming. And we're getting partners, people who want to work with us, to try and even further advance our mission. So I'm quite pleased at where we are. Having just been operating for the last 4 months. Majority of them are people with neurological disabilities, and of course they have a support of individuals that we call typical. So it's a mix, but majority of the individuals you see around are the ones with neurological disabilities. Currently, it's just like a normal cafe. The client come in and they order. Most of the time, the ladies who work here introduce themselves and tell the client that, yeah, my name is Miss whatever, and I have a neurological condition. If you don't, some people are just walking clients, but most of the people who come in have read and understand about us. So they like sharing about themselves as well. They find it as a good platform to also share their condition, make people understand. And some other things we have is also books on the tables. We display books with different neurological conditions. So when our customers come and sit down, they start browsing and questions and conversations arise from that. When it's busy, it becomes quite overwhelming for my staff to be able to maneuver the ordering, multiple people in a table. So one of the things that I've done, and we are almost going live on, is having an ordering app on the table where we are going to put our menu on the table, the client's order, and then it goes to the kitchen straight. So that's how I say is the best way I feel like I can accommodate them at the moment. But of course, as time goes by, we see what else to improve. Another thing, I've been able to see their strengths and be able to place them where they're strong at, so that I set them up to succeed. Yeah, so I think that's what I would say. That if you see someone's strength, try and place them where they will succeed. Because not all of us can be able to do the same thing. Even what we call typical people, we cannot do the same thing. We all have our strengths. So as an employer, that's the best I try to do. I think the day-to-day running, like any other business in this environment, it's quite, the economic environment isn't quite easy to navigate new business. But I think for me, I've always said it's not my bread and butter. I don't rely on it to give me anything. It's what it is, and it's just a space for my employees with neurological conditions, individuals with neurological conditions, to come in and prove to the world that they can be able to be something, and show the world also to adopt this, not only Ayuras, but who else, challenge the world to give them opportunities to do the same. If I was saying that it was a business, it's not doing well, but as what our mission and our objectives are being met, which to me is more important than anything else. Especially when I was starting, because of the stigma that comes with it, individuals used to come, even my friends, people around me say that, will they be able to, will people come and demand so much? It's a cafe, everyone demands excellent service. I said, we are not going to, like any other place, you cannot accommodate every human being. We'll just accommodate the people who understand us. I am not here to accommodate them. I'm here to accommodate my employees. So for me, that's it. People who feel that they can be able to work with us, they can be able to come and share this space with these beautiful human beings, then they're welcome. Those who feel that it's not their space, it's fine. We cannot serve every individual. There's no place in this world that has ever served everyone. Ayuras is not going anywhere. Anyway, the only thing I can see is it's getting bigger because of the number of interests we have. The people want to partner with us to implement stuff that is going to, like I say, as part of our objective, or propagate our mission or make our vision bigger. I always, when anyone approaches me and tells me that they want to do something in the cafe, I always pause and take my time and ask them, what value is it going to bring to these individuals in neurological conditions? For example, on Sunday, we have a Neuro-Diverse Day, where I'm partnering with an organization that is in Germany, where they'll be bringing in a therapist or a specialist to talk to parents. So I'll be inviting parents with children with neurological conditions to come and get free talks. So for me, I always look at how can I use this space to make it better for people who cannot be able to, get these services. How can I make it easier? So I can only see it evolving. Even from what I have, people are coming with great ideas. Ideas are not thought of. This is just me with, the skeleton. But people are becoming creative. Parents with people with with kids who have neurological conditions are coming in and we're filling in. I always tell them, tell me what you are. It's an open, it's a white canvas. How do we make it work for our children and our children's future? I tell them that to be brave about it, because it's not something that people will think is easy. But I always say, as parents or anyone who is touched and wants to support people with neurological disabilities, you have to try. If you don't try, if you don't start, you will never know. And these individuals are, I think, the best people I've ever worked with. They are so black and white. There's no gray area. They give their all. They're very, I don't know which words to use, but I've never gotten so much satisfaction working with people who are really ready and happy and are a part of this wholeheartedly. So I'd encourage people to just start, however small it is. It doesn't have to be grand. Even if it's an ice cream shop, anything small, even if you're a cobbler, employ someone, you don't have to start a cafe. look at where you are as an individual and how can you accommodate someone in a neurological condition. Whether you're a CEO in an office, what can you do? So this is, to me, is the challenge. Just challenging anyone, anywhere, to try and accommodate people with neurological conditions in whatever space you are, from the highest here or in a multinational to the lowest person you can think of. They can always do something.
And that's a wrap for today. Many thanks to Diana Yo and the team at Eura's Neurosol Cafe for speaking with us. Not to forget Solutions Journalism Network and Science Africa for facilitating the production of this episode. Thank you and goodbye.